the big one and the heavy one, which is a universal interface plate. Firstly, we have to open the package. So this is obviously the seal. Open it up. And so that was the outer box, which is meant to protect your product, and it's meant to protect also the very nice looking package that we prepared for you. So we'll take that out. So hopefully that'll make its job and protect your box. And there it is over here. Obviously you can remove the sleeve. And there is another seal over here that you can remove or cut open. And we can finally get to the product itself, which is in here. Nice. So you open your package, and in there's the quick guide where you'll find links to the manual as well as the software, and a page online where you get up-to-date software and manual. This is very important. We advise you to actually go there and check it, because our manual is interesting for you to use as you use the product. As months and years go by, you might be finding interesting stuff over there, such as multiple stage braking forces, for example. So there's actually very interesting and useful information in the manual. So we really advise you to go there and take a look. And also you can find a list of all the items that are in your package. So that'll be all of there. That'll be all over there for you to check and make sure that you have all your items. So in here you'll find the heel plate. So this is where your foot will be resting, your feet. You will also find 8 spacers, and we'll see what they'll be used for. And you'll also find bolts and T-nuts that'll be very, very useful for you to set your pedals up without needing to access the nut. So which means that it makes it a lot easier and allows you to, move things around without having to actually disassemble your full chassis. So that's why we're using those T-nuts. And here is the blade itself. It's quite heavy and very sturdy and resistant. And this over here is where your pedals and your heel plate will be attached to. So we've unboxed the universal interface plate, and now it's time to actually get it assembled, get it ready to receive the pedals. In case you do not need our interface plate, you would do the same procedure that you'll see here, but in your aluminum profile. So that would be with the T-nut and getting it assembled to the aluminum profile. But for now, we will actually go through the procedure of getting your universal interface plate set up. So because we're not attaching it to an actual physical chassis simulator here, we'll be simulating it. So I'll grab 4 spacers that you would be attaching to your chassis itself, and I am going to tighten the screws, and this would be the part where you would assemble it to whatever chassis or simulator you have. So of the bolts supplied, you'll use 4 of the larger ones and place them like so. These are all lock nuts, so you actually have to apply some pressure to tighten them. And that's designed so while you're racing, your pedals don't just go flying off. So making sure that all nuts stay in place as you're racing. It's quite important. This would actually be much easier attaching to an actual simulator because it'll be sturdier. So this would now be attached to your system. And now we can either start with the pedals or the heel plate. Because we're showing you how to assemble the heel plate, we'll do that first. But perhaps you might want to start with the pedals first and then attaching the heel plate. So what we do here is we get the extra 4 spacers. And use once more the long bolts. There we go. And then one at a time, we will get lock nuts, not very tight, so just a little. So we obviously need the spacer first and then tighten it. Same again here, spacer and tighten. In case you have bigger feet, we also allow you to install the heel plate without the spacers, meaning that the pedals will be bigger relatively to your feet, so the height from your heels. And for that you can use the smaller screws, and that way you can get that heel plate lower, and it'll make a difference if you find the pedals to not be tall enough for your feet. Also, while we were attaching this was how you would attach it to a solid plate. If you wanted to attach this universal interface plate to an aluminum profile simulator or chassis, you would also have access to extra T-nuts, so you can also attach with T-nuts, allowing you to again slide them and removing and putting them back on without needing to disassemble your full chassis. So we also like to have that kind of versatility where you can have this adjustability on the height of the heel plate, as well as fixing your universal interface plate to a solid sheet of metal or an aluminum chassis simulator. So now we align the T-nuts like so, and simply insert them on their grooves. They slide right in. And now all you have to do is you can actually slide the heel plate back and forth. And then at this moment, because we will be assembling the pedals after, and you would be doing that too. Perhaps you can leave it all the way to the front and lock it in place. Like so. So you can gently touch the T-nut underneath, and then once it engages, you can tighten it further. There we go. So obviously I'm not tightening it very much, so we can later on get it precisely where we want it. And that's how you assemble your universal interface plate. And I'll be attaching the pedals. We'll be doing that right away.